Hi, Mark T. the Handyman here. Today we're going to show you how to check your refrigerant level without using gauges. Also, is your air conditioning doing all it can do to keep you cool? So one of the ways you can tell that your air conditioning might be low refrigerant is your air conditioning is not keeping up with your set point. You have a set point of 75 degrees. The air conditioner has been running all day, but yet it's 80 degrees in the house. So let's see what we can do to figure out how to solve this problem. Today, I'm going to show you how to possibly figure out what is going on by using just a basic thermometer and no gauges. Some simple procedures and temperatures without opening the system. The best tool you can use, I think, is an instant result kitchen thermometer. Many people have one in their kitchen, but if you don't have one, you can pick one up on Amazon, and they are relatively inexpensive. The first thing that you can do is you can check to see if the air conditioning meets the cooling requirements that are normal. You can do that by simply checking the inlet temperature of the furnace and then the outlet temperature of the furnace with the thermometer. Most furnaces are going to have a canvas duct connector, one of them on the return air and the other one on the supply air. What you want to do is get the thermometer inside the ductwork by pushing the point of the thermometer against the canvas. If there has been a service technician at your house, you probably already have a hole in the canvas. But if not, it's simple to do. Just push the thermometer through the canvas. It's not going to hurt anything as far as releasing air or sucking air through the holes. The holes are going to be small enough that they will not have any effect at all. Let's start with the return air. You want to leave the thermometer in the ductwork until the temperature stabilizes. Normally, on the return air, you will get the house temperature. This is the air that is coming from the house and going to the furnace through the air conditioning. Normal temperature differences from the AC usually are between 15 and 20 degrees. If you are below 15 degrees by several degrees of differential, that would be a classic example of some type of problem. So once you take the temperature on the return side, then you want to do the same thing on the supply side. Once again, if you have a canvas connector on the supply side, you want to push the thermometer through the canvas just like you did on the return side. And like I said, standard temperature differences are between 15 and 20 degrees from the return air to the supply side. The 15 to 20 degrees doesn't matter if it's from a 70 degree return air temperature to 55 supply air, or from an 80 degree return air temperature to a 65 supply air temperature. The temperature difference between 15 and 20 is dependent on what the return air is or what the house temperature is. The supply side is the air that goes over the A coil, which is the cooling coil, and is supplying the cold air to the house through the ductwork and then through the diffusers. If you are 7 degrees below the 15 degree temperature difference, it is usually a pretty good sign that you might be low of refrigerant. But there could be other conditions that are possibilities too, such as a dirty air filter on your furnace. A dirty filter can cause the cooling capacity to be lower than normal and will also frost up your A coil the same as a low refrigerant charge. This side here is where the A coil sets on your furnace. The other side is the return air. The return air is where the air travels through the filter and through the blower compartment and then through the A coil, supplying cooler temperatures throughout the house. Another thing you can check while you're in the basement checking temperatures in the filter is to check to see if the liquid line, also called the high pressure line, which is the smaller copper tube, is warm to the touch, but not hot. Also, check the suction side of the unit or the low pressure side, which is the larger copper tubing that has the insulation on it. The suction line should be cold and have condensate forming where the copper tubing is not insulated. What you do not want to see is any type of frost or ice on the suction line. If for some reason you do not have a canvas connector on your return air ductwork or your supply air ductwork, you can go upstairs and find a return air grill and put your thermometer at the inlet of the return air grill. The return air grill will give you the same temperature that you would read at the return air canvas connector downstairs. All you need to do is place your thermometer near the inlet of the return air grill until the temperature on the thermometer is stable. In the same way, if you do not have a canvas connector on the supply side of your ductwork near the furnace, you simply go to the supply air register upstairs, whether it be on the floor or the wall. You want to check to see what the temperature is coming from the furnace. That temperature will be the same temperature that you would read at the supply air canvas connector near your furnace. Now let's go outside and see what we have at the condensing unit. As you can see, you have the same tubing on the outside as you had on the inside. The small line is the high pressure liquid line. The liquid refrigerant travels from the outdoor condensing unit to the inside A coil at the furnace. The larger insulated line is the suction line, which is where the vapor goes back to the compressor at the condensing unit. Once again, the liquid line should be warm to the touch, but not hot. Also check the suction side of the unit, which is the larger copper tubing and has the insulation on it. The suction line should be cold and have condensate forming where the copper tubing is not insulated. And once again, you do not want to see any type of frost or ice on the suction line. Now we are going to peel back a little bit of insulation and take a temperature of the suction line. Generally, it should feel a little cold and sweaty. You want to make sure that you have good contact with the copper tubing by carefully placing the thermometer under the insulation and touching the copper tubing. You should be reading somewhere around 35 degrees to 55 degrees. This temperature is going to be based on the ambient conditions in the house. You do not want to see below 32 degrees, of course, and it certainly shouldn't be warm to the touch either. Okay, now let's check the small copper line. This is your liquid line. This copper line should be warm or even slightly warmer than warm. Usually the temperature on the liquid line you will see somewhere in the ballpark of 85 to 100 degrees. Again, this temperature is going to be based on the ambient conditions in the house. To check to see if you may be undercharged, one last temperature you can take is the hot air actually blowing out on top of the outdoor unit. This is the heat that actually is being removed from your inside of your home. And the temperature should be somewhere between 10 degrees up to 30 degrees hotter than the ambient temperature outside. One more thing that I think could help you troubleshoot your air conditioning if it is not keeping up with the heat load in your house. Always make sure that your outside condenser coil is clean. A dirty condenser coil is another cause for an air conditioning that is not keeping up with the heat load in your house. So, if you are actually low of refrigerant, you should see all these signs through all of these temperatures between your supply and your return air. The sign or indication is that you are below 16 degrees temperature differential, or your suction line is below 32 degrees or the freezing point of water. If you are really low, the suction line will be warm altogether. Number 2, if your liquid line is significantly less than 85 to 100 degrees, and if the air temperature coming out of the top of the condensing unit is less than 10 degrees, these are all indications working together to tell you that you are low of refrigerant. Hopefully, this video has been a little bit of help in troubleshooting the possible refrigerant leak without using gauges. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up or a like. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to comment. I sure do like to hear from you. Thanks for watching.